Hello from Seoul. By now, you probably realized that making Korean pancake is not difficult at all. But you know what? What we're gonna make today is the easiest of them all. The fewest ingredients and the simplest. Trust me, you'll be the best savory pancake you will ever have. I guarantee. Today, we're gonna be making Yachae Jeon, one of the most popular Korean savory pancakes in history. Despite its renown, it's actually quite simple and easy to make. Even though you don't feel like cooking at all, this is something you can easily whip up in just 15 minutes. And for that reason, it always ranks as the #1 Korean pancake. Of course, that's my guess though, but the fact that it's truly delicious is absolutely undeniable. For this, you will need some garlic chives, potato, carrot, green and red chilies, and green onions. So simple, right? What? You want it to be simpler? Then just try with some garlic chives. That's what we call gochujang, and I'm sure you will love that too. However, these all contribute to more flavor and textures, so this time, I want you to follow my lead. Alright, let's prepare vegetables. First, take a big handful of garlic chives and cut them into strips, about 2 inches long. When they're cooked in some oil, they'll become nice and fragrant, so please be generous with them. What? You're not a big fan of garlic chives? Then bring our love, green onion. They could be more expensive, but more fancy. Next, cut half a potato into thin matchsticks. The ingredients that take the longest to cook in this pancake are the potatoes and the carrots. Undercooked carrots are okay, but you don't want to eat raw potatoes, right? So make sure you slice them as thinly as possible. Otherwise, you might have to face a cold brown situation tomorrow morning. And that is not my responsibility. And then let's drill in some carrot. I'm gonna use about a third. And please keep in mind that the vegetables that I'm using today are just guidelines. As long as they don't have strong flavors that could disrupt the balance, like cilantro or celery, you can almost use any vegetables in here. So if you have lots of veggies in your fridge, bring them all. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fantastic. This time, let's slice some chili peppers. I'm using 1 청양고추, spicy Korean chili pepper, and some mild red chili. But you could also use any pepper you like. Serrano or jalapeno works great for this recipe. So just use what you have on hand. That little bit of heat from chili peppers will elevate your dish to the next level. Lastly, let's grab our love, green onions, and thinly slice them. I'm just gonna use 2 green onions, but you can add some more if you want. As always, more green onions, more delicious. Alright, everything is all set. Let's make the pancake batter. In a large mixing bowl, add 1.5 cups of AP flour, half a teaspoon of salt, some black pepper, 1.5 cups of icy cold water, and whisk them all together. For information, we have all the instructions and a list of ingredients on our blog, aaronandclaire.com. So please visit here if you need a written recipe. And if you happen to have some Korean pancake mix like this, go ahead and use that. It's already seasoned, so you don't need to add any salt and pepper, and it's gonna be more crispy. But don't get me wrong, I'm not sponsored. And here's one more tip. If you wanna make this even better, then instead of salt, add the same amount of this Korean beef stock powder or chicken bouillon powder. Thanks to these bad boys, you're gonna hear that, man, you should open your own restaurant. What? You wanna know this kind of tip more and more? I'm so glad you brought that up, because everything you need is in this one book. Trust me, with this one book, you can cook more than 100 Korean dishes like a pro, so don't forget to check it out. The link is in the description. Once it's well mixed, add all the veggies and give it a good mix. Normally, when Koreans make this kind of pancake, we don't measure things with a scale or a measuring cup. But I'm just doing this to give you a guideline. So if you don't want to look up a recipe or you just want to do it by eye like Koreans, just remember this one thing. Minimize the batter and add lots of vegetables. The batter only needs to work like glue, so as long as it holds the veggies together, your pancakes will always be delicious. That's a pretty good tip, right? Alright, before we start cooking, let's make our dipping sauce. When having these Korean vegetable pancakes, we shouldn't miss out on this delicious sauce, right? So let's slice 1 green chili, 1 red chili, half of a green onion, and roughly chop a quarter of an onion. These will not only release their flavor into the sauce, they will also be your beautiful garnish. Now, into a small container, add all the veggies, 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2.5 tablespoons of vinegar, a pinch of sugar, and give it a good mix. That's it! But if you wanna add some extra heat to this, then add about 1 tablespoon of Korean chili pepper flakes. This dipping sauce can be stored in the fridge for about 3 to 5 days, so feel free to use it with other dishes. No matter what you pair it with, it's gonna be incredibly delicious. Alright, we're set. Let's get cooking. Get yourself a large pan, add a generous amount of oil, and heat it over medium heat. To get them nice and crispy, they have to be cooked almost like deep frying, so I recommend using at least 2 tablespoons of oil for one batch. Once it gets nice and hot, add some batter, spread it out, and evenly distribute the vegetables. Now we're just gonna fry for about 3 to 4 minutes or until golden brown. Once the edges start to cook, shake your pan occasionally so that the oil from the edges can go into the center. This will prevent the center from getting soggy. As soon as the bottom turns golden brown, using a spatula, flip and cook the other side for about 3 to 4 minutes. It doesn't really matter how big or small, so feel free to make it whatever size you like. But if this is your first time making Korean pancakes, I recommend making them a bit smaller. That way, they will cook more evenly and crispy, and that's gonna be much easier to flip. When both sides are golden brown and crispy, put it on a wire rag or on some paper towels, and repeat with the remaining batter. There's nothing complicated, right? Don't be overwhelmed and give this a try. Trust me, even though you don't like eating vegetables, you will absolutely love this dish. Alright, our pancake is done. Let's go ahead and plate this up. Nicely arrange some pancakes on a serving plate and put some of our dipping sauce into a small bowl. Don't just add the soy sauce, make sure you put enough veggies in there. Alright, it's done. Let's call our taste tester.
Claire?
Ooh! Aaron, did you open a Korean pancake restaurant? Our entire house smells wonderful. Guys, I'm super hungry because of the smell. I really need to try it right now. Let's give it a try. It's gonna be so good. Let's make a small bite-sized pieces with chopsticks. But if it's difficult to do it, simply cut it with the scissors. Let's get some vegetables from the dipping sauce and put it over the pancakes. Cheers! 너무 맛있다. 일단 야채를 듬뿍듬뿍 많이 넣어줘서 반죽의 맛이 많이 나는 그런 팬케이크가 아니라 야채의 맛을 정말 맛있게 즐길 수 있는 그런 완벽한 팬케이크로 나와서 너무 맛있네. 그리고 이 소스랑 무조건 같이 먹어야 돼. 이 간장에서 나오는 짭조름함이 이 팬케이크에 간을 샥 맞춰줘가지고 진짜 너무너무 감칠맛 나게 너무 맛있어. 훨씬 더 맛있게 만들어줘. 저는 기름에 부치다 보니까 자칫 많이 먹다 보면 좀 느끼해질 수 있잖아. 근데 이 디핑 소스 안에 있는 여러 가지 야채들, 그 중에서도 특히나 고추에서 나오는 그 hit이, 그 매콤한 맛이 자연스럽게 너무너무 잘 녹아져 있어가지고 그 느끼한 맛을 싹 잡아주는 그 부분이 너무 좋다. 그리고 이게 그냥 단순히 짜지만 않고 약간 좀 새콤한 소스여가지고 너무너무 잘 어울려, 이 팬케이크랑. 맛있어. 그리고 겉에가 진짜 딱 입에서도 먹었었을 때 바삭바삭한 느낌이 싹 느껴지네. 맛있네. 맛있어가지고 말을 너무 많이 했어. 한 번 더 먹어야겠어. 멈추지 말고 그냥 먹어. 찍었다가 이제 야채를 올려서 다시 좀 더 추가해서 먹어도 됩니다. 바삭바삭. 아마 이거 오늘 다 먹으면 오늘 필요한 야채 섭취量다 섭취할 수 있을걸? 그 정도로 야채가 많이 들어가줘서 뭔가 건강해진 느낌이다. I just love as it is, but if you want some protein here, you can add some squid or shrimp here. That's gonna be fantastic too. This is the protein. This is totally optional, but to fully enjoy this yachae jeon, let's pair it with some makgeolli, Korean rice wine. 이 정도. 먹기 전에 한 입 준비해 놓고 바로 입에 넣겠다. Cheers! Oh my god! 이거지 이거. This is so good. I really want you to try these combinations. This is so good.
Today, I showed you how to make Yachae Jeon, Korean vegetable pancakes. How was it? It's way easier than you think, right? Of course, everybody has different levels of preference for vegetables, but there's something magical about this dish. Even though you're not a big fan of vegetables, once you have a bite, you will see yourself can't stop eating it. And you will understand why this is the most beloved savory pancake in Korea. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.